My headline of the night for me, guys, is the ad culture. And I was going to make a video about Uri Slafkovsky. Montreal Canadiens, when they draft for players, we talk about the skill and then we talk about the talent. But since Ken Hughes and Jeff Gorton are there, they really pay attention of the culture of the Montreal Canadiens. It start with them, and then after that, they contribute that culture to the staff with Martin St. Louis. And that's after that, they move on this to the players. They really pay attention who they select as a player, draft the players too, and who is in part of this Montreal Canadiens organization as a players. And for me, they go beyond about everything. I will give you an example. Uri Slafkovsky. If you follow each one of them they have right now with Montreal Canadiens, they really look, they do the homework. They not only draft the player because they believe he could be a good hockey player. They really want the player to become a part of something special in Montreal. Talk about the culture. Slafkovsky left the building, guys, at 14 years old. Cook by himself at 15 years old, stay alone in another country to survive, to become a better hockey player. Slafkovsky go through play with men at young age. Slafkovsky play represent his country at the Olympics. Slafkovsky, after that, went to the World Championship with Thomas Tatar and the rest to represent his team over there. Slafkovsky become a first overall pick by the Montreal Canadiens 2022. And we know, like Toronto and Montreal, the media, the pressure, the adversity, the challenge, all already at 19 years old, what Uri Slafkovsky faced already as a human being. This is an experience you cannot buy at the store. This is something you have to go through that. And he have an amazing, great maturity. He have an amazing, great responsibility of what he accomplished. And he is a great work ethic. He is one always to learn something. His reaction after the game last night, after the game when he slammed the board, he was angry about he missed the net, right? His F-bomb at the press conference yesterday showed one thing for me, his desire to become a better hockey player. This, it cannot teach those DNA to the players. He had to come from them. And that's what is Slafkovsky. But what's the point behind that? But let's move on with Caden Coley. Caden Coley was the first overall pick in WHL at 16 years old. Look, his first year, Coley was not very good. He struggled many times at the point where a lot of people was demanding if he was worth it. It's not the same level like the NHL. Imagine NHL, what the pressure of Slafkovsky last year he go through. A lot of bad days on his life. He go through that. Look, he look like today. My point back to Coley, he become a captain for his team, a leader inside his team. He carry on that. He become a great asset for the Team Canada. He become a great hockey player and the WHL with the Brain Salzburg before he got traded to Edmonton Oilers. Let's go back to Jaden Strouble. Same situation with the Northeastern. Let's go back with Jordan Harris. Same situation. Both of them captain of their team at some point behind that. Look what he tried to accomplish right now with Kirby Duck. So, well, because Duck is not like he did not prove in the stat, but look his adversity. You got drafted third overall pick. Look, the people was put him down because he cannot play, and he did not perform very well at the beginning with Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews. We have to carry on those kind of difficulties, a challenge during the time to prove everybody is wrong. This is a kind of maturity you don't get right away. You have to go through adversity. This is the culture of Montreal Canadiens they carry on. Same situation with Jacquard. He never be drafted before that. What's the point behind that? For me, is this what the Montreal want to build? The players have a lot of responsibility on their plate. They are mature also. They are great work ethic. They want to become better. And then it's all because of the work ethic they have inside of them. And you put this all together at the same locker room, they all go at the war. They all buy in, they're all in, and that make a team better inside of any other team because they believe at what they all got sold by the organization from the top for Ken Hughes and Jeff Gorton to the staff manager, for the staff coaching, for Martin St. Louis, Burroughs, and Robidas, and for other people walk around the team. Check Chandler McCabe. Look about Adam Nicola. and all the tools they have in front of them with Christian Boucher and his two assistants on the analytics, look the video coach, and I can go all the way. They have all the same words inside of their mind, and they're all going to buy it for what they bring on the table, Jeff Gorton and Kenyon. For me today, I was just sharing another part of what the Montreal Canadiens are building, and without that foundation, you're not going to have a great day. That's a guarantee, guys, the Stanley Cup. Not at all. But the last 2 weeks, all of us, we are Montreal Canadiens fans, you enjoy what you see for the first line. You get excited for what you see for the last couple of days. Many of us fire Alex Burrows, Martin Saint-Louis, Pobrov, and many others, trade many of them because they don't believe of the Montreal Canadiens. What I want to finish with that part, guys, you have no roadmap, like I said, my last headline to develop a player. It's not guaranteed Slafkovsky is going to become a Rantanen in NHL. But my point behind that, you don't know yet what Lane Hudson is going to be one day. You don't know what Engstrom, Logan Mailloux is going to become in NHL. But enjoy the small victories on Montreal Canadiens, and of course, keep in mind to not be too much negative and believe of what we have. I think for me, they are excellent management for the Montreal Canadiens. Are they going to make mistakes? Like anybody. Are they going to guarantee Stanley Cup to win? Not at all. But I'm sure Montreal Canadiens are going to be one of the top best franchise in NHL. By the way, I see them developing for the last 2 years. Management, coaching, and the player. So this is my headline of my night.
So Coach, a couple things there. But guys,
Well
let,
said.
let's be fair, right? 80% of the players that you just mentioned there are from the Marc Bergevin, Trevor Timmins era, right? So that is one thing that's been consistent. Like you can be critical, obviously, Kotkaniemi over Kachuk, and some other, probably that's the biggest move or the biggest mistake that the Bergevin Timmins era in terms of drafting. But we heard Marc Bergevin talk about that a lot, right? Like it was almost like a cliche, right? Like character was like one of the most important things that Trevor Timmins and Marc Bergevin looked. So in a way, that's something that's been very consistent across both management teams, right? Like they definitely both prioritize character, right? So Gooley and all the guys that you mentioned, Struble, those are all Bergevin and Trevor Timmins draft picks. So just an honorable mention, that yes, a lot of the core players that are there right now are from that management era. Coach, I don't know if your headline was inspired by that, but a lot of the people that were really, really critical at Habs management are now recognizing that exactly what you're saying, right? Like, they and maybe some of the people are even saying, you know what, based on how successful Slafkovsky, how successful the team has been at developing Slafkovsky, they're actually maybe even changing their minds a little bit about Reinbacher, because if they can, improve Slafkovsky to the extent that they have, it increases your confidence level of what they're going to be able to do with Reinbacher. Because believe me, that's a whole other conversation too, right? Still, people are still mad. Michkov versus Reinbacher. And, Reinbacher, there's definitely been some things you can look at in his development this year that don't look amazing. This is what happens, right? When you have success, guys, like people are seeing how good of a job they've done developing and improving Slafkovsky, that it's even spreading and giving goodwill or faith. The word faith is I'm using that very key in a key way. Habs fans can have a little bit more faith that they're going to do the right thing in the future with developing their players.
Yeah, no, I was gonna agree with that, Coach. Exactly what you're saying. I think what you're trying to point out is also the fact that these players that they're drafting, they're doing a lot of research on these players, and they're trying to see what type of character they have. I mean, to look at the stats and say this guy was an 80 to 100 point scorer in the minors, and that should translate to the NHL. It doesn't always happen. We've seen it many times in history. But one thing that doesn't change and will always be transitioned well is the person's character. And that's what we're starting to see in some of these players. And if you look at some of these ones that have been drafted in the last year or two, you're starting to see a common denominator there, and that's that character element. Like you look at somebody like Fowler and Reinbacher, and while Milo was under Bergevin, of course, but they're exemplifying that type of character, and I think that's so underestimated and so under evaluated in hockey that it only holds them to higher esteem, that they're going that extra mile to try to get that kind of player. And their background in terms of where they came from and what they've achieved in order to get to where they are at is what determines that character.
Thank you to watching another Habs Nation video. But before we leave, we invite you, don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to the channel, and finally let us a comment about this video. And remember, you have greatness inside of you, and we wishes you an amazing, great, and blessing day.